In 2024, Canada experienced a significant increase in emigration, reaching levels not seen in the past 7 years. Approximately 81,601 residents left the country, marking a 31% rise from the previous year. This trend is primarily attributed to escalating living expenses, particularly soaring housing costs and the pursuit of more favorable job opportunities abroad. Additionally, retirement plans and return migration have contributed to the trend. Notably, British Columbia experienced the most significant outflow, with 14,836 residents leaving in 2024. In contrast, Quebec saw a decline in departures, recording the lowest outflow in a decade. Despite these departures, Canada's population continues to grow, largely due to high immigration levels. Economic factors influencing immigration. Canada's economic landscape has undergone notable challenges in recent years. By 2024, the nation's per capita national income had fallen to approximately 70% of U.S. levels, down from 80% just 5 years earlier. This decline positioned Canada's economic output per capita below that of Alabama, a significant drop from its previous standing comparable to Montana in 2019. The economic downturn has significantly affected Canadian households, with official statistics indicating a 25% increase in food inflation and a 30% rise in energy costs since the COVID-19 pandemic. Provincial sales taxes range from 13% to 15%, further impacting consumer spending power. These economic pressures have led to a 40% increase in bankruptcy filings, while reports suggest that nearly half of Canadians have depleted their emergency savings. Cite Search 19. Housing crisis and its impact. The housing crisis has been a significant concern, with a comprehensive survey released in December 2024 revealing that 43% of Canadians experienced increased financial stress due to housing costs, and 35% reported a diminished quality of life. Mental health impacts were also significant, with 33% of respondents citing housing-related psychological stress. Housing security emerged as a major concern, with 58% of respondents expressing anxiety about their ability to maintain mortgage or rent payments. Young Canadians aged 18 to 44 were particularly impacted, with housing costs affecting major life decisions, including family planning and geographic mobility. The survey also noted that while 72% of non-homeowners expressed a desire for homeownership, 45% viewed this goal as increasingly unattainable. Cite Search 19. Government response to economic challenges. In response to these economic challenges, the Canadian government has implemented several measures. In June 2024, the Bank of Canada initiated monetary easing with a 25 basis point rate cut, with projections indicating further cuts will reduce the overnight rate to 4% by year-end. This policy shift aimed to alleviate household financial pressures, particularly for those with adjustable-rate mortgages or credit market debt. The Trudeau government's 2024 federal budget incorporated policy changes meant to increase productivity through investments in artificial intelligence and research grants. However, economists have argued that more comprehensive reforms are necessary, including reduction of interprovincial trade barriers, streamlining of regulations, tax reforms to encourage domestic investment, and enhancement of innovation in critical industries. Cite Search 19. Social and political implications. The economic challenges have coincided with broader social changes. Statistics Canada reported a 40% increase in violent crime rates since 2014. Public opinion surveys have revealed widespread dissatisfaction, with a 2024 Ipsos poll indicating that 70% of the general population and 80% of those aged 18 to 34 agree with the statement that Canada is broken. This sentiment has led 42% of Canadians to consider emigration, according to a survey by Angus Reid. Cite Search 19. Impact on immigration policies. The immigration issue has become increasingly prominent in Canadian politics as a result of increased economic challenges. Opposition parties, particularly the Conservative Party under Pierre Poilievre, have gained support through criticism of immigration policies. In response, The Trudeau government announced substantial reductions to immigration targets in 2024, including a nearly 20% decrease in permanent residency grants and significant restrictions on visa workers and international students. These changes represented a marked shift from the previous study, work, and stated approach that had characterized Canadian immigration policy. The policy shift has created uncertainty for hundreds of thousands of migrants already in Canada, particularly affecting temporary workers and caregivers who had moved under previous policy frameworks. Cite Turn 0 Search 19. Conclusion. The recent surge in immigration from Canada is a multifaceted issue influenced by economic hardships, housing affordability crises, and evolving immigration policies. While the government's efforts to address these challenges are ongoing, the situation underscores the need for comprehensive reforms to ensure sustainable economic growth and social stability. Hashtags. Hashtag Canada immigration, hashtag population trends, hashtag economic challenges, hashtag housing crisis, hashtag immigration policies, hashtag cost of living, hashtag job opportunities, hashtag British Columbia, hashtag Quebec, hashtag monetary policy, hashtag Bank of Canada, hashtag interest rate cuts, hashtag artificial intelligence investments, hashtag economic reforms, hashtag social changes, hashtag violent crime rates, hashtag public dissatisfaction, hashtag Ipsos poll, hashtag Angus Reid survey, hashtag Conservative Party, hashtag immigration reductions, hashtag permanent residency, hashtag visa restrictions, hashtag international students, hashtag policy shift, hashtag economic hardships, hashtag housing affordability, hashtag social stability, hashtag comprehensive reforms, hashtag Canada economy.
Thanks for watching our video. Please hit the button and subscribe the channel.